Hello singing friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Mickey here, your friendly neighborhood singing coach. I hope that you are all doing well. It is Halloween in the evening here, and everyone in my household is quite tuckered out from the difficult job of collecting candy, which is why I'm in my pajamas. I hope that you guys don't mind. Today I'm very excited to be doing a double header reaction video to Ofra Haza. This is a request from my viewer Sarah Mengisto, and she asked that I look at a live version of the Hebrew Paintbox song on the Dudu Topaz show in 1995. Kufsat Tzvaim, and then also to react to an English version of the song in a short video clip, which was released in either 94 or 95. All right, so first we're gonna see a live version of the Hebrew lyric version of the song. Allow myself to introduce myself. I've said the word version many times, but I couldn't figure out how to get around it. Once I started that sentence, there was no way out. All right, and then we're also gonna look at a video clip of the English version of the song. All right, so let's jump right in and listen to the Dudu Topaz show. Here we go.
אני מזמין לכאן את להקת העפרונים, 8 בנות מתוך להקת העפרונים. בואו ייכנס נא. ואל כולן תצטרף האחת והיחידה, המקסימה והמהממת, עופרה חזה.
Wow, what a celestial and relaxing opening. That was absolutely gorgeous. And I just think it's really interesting and cool too to get this view of a talk show in Israel. I love that they panned out to the audience and you could see how many people were there, you know? Usually when I think about taping in front of a studio audience, you think that it's very small, or perhaps the audience isn't even there, especially now in COVID times. But when they panned out, there were a lot of people there. So you can imagine that would be very intimidating, you know, for any normal person. But of course, Ofra was such a consummate professional that she doesn't seem nervous at all. She just takes it all in stride. And I loved that opening with all the instruments, you know, the band on the talk show. That was cool to see, with that female trumpet player. And then I loved hearing the introduction in Hebrew. I do understand some Hebrew, you know, so I pick out a word here or there, you know, and it was just lovely to hear them complimenting her. Maxima ve mehamemet. And then, of course, it's cool to see the chorus of the kids come out, just like on the English version of the song that I had seen before. They're wearing the same white outfits with the Paintbox colored leggings in all different shades. And of course, she looks absolutely gorgeous and elegant in her black dress this time, as opposed to a white dress, I think, in the last performance that I saw of this song. One thing that I do notice too, that just speaks to her professionalism, is that she is resting her hand on that keyboard, but the keyboard is very low, right? It's not like a piano where she can really like rest her hand up there. So she's wearing heels and she's very tall and statuesque, and then she's kind of reaching down to rest her fingertips on this very low keyboard. So she just makes everything look so elegant, even if it's would be like an awkward position for me, for example. You know, she makes it look very natural and elegant and graceful.
הייתה לי קופסת צבעים, זוהרים נעימים ונעים. הייתה לי קופסה של צבעים יפים, צבעים קרים, צבעים חמים. הייתה לי קופסת צבעים, זוהרים נעימים ונעים. הייתה צבעים יפים, צבעים קרים, צבעים חמים. לא היה לי אדום, לא היה אדום של דם הפצועים, לא היה לי שחור של אבלות יתומים, לא היה לבן, לבן של בני המתים, לא היה צהוב של חולות לוהטים. הייתה לי קופסת צבעים, זוהרים נעימים ונעים. הייתה לי קופסה של צבעים יפים, צבעים קרים, צבעים חמים. היה לי כתום, היה כתום של שמחת חיים. היה לי ירוק של לבלוב ופריחה. היה תחול של שמיים מאירים. היה ורוד לי של חלום ומנוחה.
Sorry to interrupt it. I'm just going to pause there so that I don't get flagged by YouTube for letting it play for too long. So I think this is a beautiful performance. I actually prefer this arrangement, not starting with the chorus of children singing the chorus to the song before she comes in. I really liked that she started the song. I loved the beautiful melodies that she sang. They were, as I said, very celestial and very relaxing. And then I love the way that she's singing in this song. So she's not really belting. She's not using a very strident, connected tone. She's kind of keeping a cover on her voice the entire time. So it's very mixed, you know? So she's not really like locking into that chest voice ever. And I really like that about it because it gives it this like, this grace. And you know, it is a very simple song. As we've heard, the lyrics are very simple and the concept is very simple, but I think it works even better in Hebrew because the language just has an elegance about it, you know? The phonemes in Hebrew sound more elegant to my ear than in English. And it's funny that I say that because I don't think that's true usually when people speak Hebrew. You know, it's got a lot of like very guttural sounds in it, like cha and stuff. But the way that she sings it in such a clear and graceful way that it makes it sound very soft. You know, her delivery of the Hebrew is really, really beautiful and soft. So I like the way she's singing it. I love that it's not overly strident. It's very graceful. There's almost a cover on that sound. It's a very mixed voice tone, and I think it's very appropriate for the lyrical content of the song.
ישבתי
Very, very pretty. So, I could have done without the cheesy beat on the keyboard, but that's to be expected. There are always these things that are indicative of the time in which the performance occurred. So that didn't bother me that much. And I think the chorus sounded really, really beautiful, swelling behind her. I love the modulation when it steps up towards the end. And I really liked how she brought the melody down while they were singing the higher harmonies on that last half of the last chorus. I thought it was absolutely beautiful, and it's growing on me. It's not my favorite song of hers that she sung because it is rather simple, but I think there's a really nice innocence and sweetness and a purity about the message, and I really like the way that she sings it. So I enjoyed it very much. I think I actually prefer the Hebrew version to the English version, but maybe I'll change my tune in a second when we listen to the English clip. All right, so let's jump right in and check it out. Charming and sweet. I doubt that this is actually them recording it, even though it's set up to look like they're recording this in the studio with the microphone, because you probably would individually mic all the singers. So I'm pretty sure they're just lip syncing to this, or this was just a live performance. It still has that beat in the background, which I don't love. It sounds like a Casio keyboard beat. So that's a little bit cheesy, but other than that, I think it's beautiful. And I can't help but imagine what a life-altering, incredible experience it must have been for these girls to be singing with Ofra Haza. It must have been so incredible. I wonder if they really even appreciated it because they're so young, so maybe they weren't even aware of how incredible she was as a performer and a singer. But I'm sure looking back now, probably they're so glad that they got to have that experience. And I'm very impressed also that they can sing in English. It's clearly they're Israelis singing English, and it sounds very good. You can hear that they have an accent, obviously, but they're doing an amazing job, and it's not a small thing to be able to sing in another language and be able to pull it off and make it sound natural. So I really applaud them for that. I think this is beautiful and very charming that they're all kind of standing there singing together.
I had no red for wounds and blood. I had no black for an orphan child. I had no white, for the face of the dead. I had no yellow for burning sand. I had a paintbox, each color glowing with delight. I had a paintbox with colors warm and cool and bright.
Very, very nice. So I think she's actually leaning more into her connected chest voice sound on the verse, at least in this version. The chorus still sounds a little bit covered and a little bit more of a mixed voice, but when she's singing low down, I had no red I had no red for wounds and blood, or whatever the lyrics are. It does sound like she's leaning into that more, and she has more of a connected chest voice sound on the English version. It's interesting.
I had orange for joy in life. I had green for buds and blooms. I had blue for clear, bright skies. I had pink for dreams and rest. I had a paintbox, each color glowing with delight. I had a paintbox with colors, warm and cool and bright. I had a paintbox, each color glowing with delight. I sat down and painted peace. Salam,
Very, very cool. So yeah, I just love seeing her, in the recording booth with all of those girls, and, her performing and being so gracious and having all those young people singing along on the song. And it must have been so thrilling for them. I think that's really, really cool. So I'm torn. I like certain things about the English version better. I like that she's using that stronger, more connected chest voice. I think it gives the song a little bit more passion and gravity, it takes it out of that realm of like innocence and silliness. But I think I prefer hearing the lyrics sung in Hebrew because they are so simple that it almost comes across as like a little bit cheesy to me in English, But I think given how simple the song is and how it could kind of lean into being a little bit cheesy, I think she did such an amazing job with it. And it is so beautiful and uplifting. And I love that they incorporated the kids into it. So I think there are really, really lovely things about both versions of this song. So it would be hard for me to choose one that I prefer. I guess if I had a gun to my head, I would choose the English version because I like the power in her voice. So yeah, so that's my reaction. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for the request, Sarah. And I'll see you guys here next time. Until then, take care. And of course, happy singing.